Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of Kingdoms. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. I am having a fantastic day. It's been a while. I know. I'm sorry. I've been putting a lot of thought into Kingdoms over the last couple weeks, and I've made some decisions that I think will be good, and some of you may dislike, but some of you will also greatly enjoy because Kingdoms is going to be around a lot more. But we'll get to that in a minute. The first thing we need to do today is induct some new people into the Hall of Patrons. So, and if I butcher names, I'm sorry. Saika, Mason Nickel, the BFD71, William Glass, Carl McBee, Joseon, Leslie Fromm, Connor Bradbury, Surface Healer 63, Riker Vode, Riker, 1056, and Katira Biting? This person even sent me a message on Patreon telling me how to properly pronounce their name, and I think I still probably messed it up. But anyway, so yeah, I've made some decisions. Kingdoms has been very absent over the last, well, realistically, the last couple of months. And it's for a number of reasons. I have really not been feeling the kind of like Mesoamerican kingdom over there. I just haven't been feeling it. I don't know what it is. I started that project and I just kind of got a little ways into it and I was like, you know, I'm not having fun with this. Like, it's okay, but I don't know. And that kind of killed my inspiration for like vanilla in general. And it's kind of resulted in very, very little Kingdoms over the last couple weeks and months, and it's been bad, and I'm sorry for that because I know a lot of you really enjoy this series, but I haven't, I've still been doing things. I've still been doing some stuff. Check this out. We're gonna leave this. We're gonna go into a copy of this world that's just for, it's like an exact copy of the world, but it's in creative mode. And I've been planning a little something. Check this out. This is going to be our next kingdom. This is going to be, I've been thinking about it quite a lot. And, you know, the thing about kingdoms is, I've got however many hours in this world. Who knows? And Kingdoms it still doesn't have a proper castle town. Like anywhere in the world. There's not a single castle town anywhere. And I think sometimes when you're really like kind of struggling to find inspiration, it's good to just kind of like go back to what you know, like it's always good to try and push your boundaries and experiment with things that you haven't done before and stuff like that. But sometimes, if you're struggling to do that, sometimes you go back to the things that you're comfortable with and that you've done. And sometimes all it takes is you just have to start putting down blocks. You start building something and then your inspiration comes back. So basically this area, here's Bullstone. And right over here, just a little bit this way, through the spruce forest, we come to this Extreme Hills biome over here that I think is a perfect location for this big kind of castle town. And I've got it all kind of planned out in my head, and I've put down some wool blocks and stuff to kind of mark out certain things. The red is roads, the blue is walls. We're going to have a big gate right here, and it's going to be a diagonal bridge and a diagonal gate, which is going to be interesting. And then we'll have another exit over here. The yellow buildings represent like kind of military fortifications, I guess. So we'll have one here, a big one on the hill, one over here, and then one on this hill. The orange represents basically like terraforming, right? So like right here, I'm going to actually take this and bring it all the way down rather than having this little like kind of nook here. This is just going to be one big hill. Over here, this is probably going to end up being like a really big retaining wall or something like that. So it should be good. It's a lot of fun. Now, I've been kind of working on wall designs because I think that's kind of a very important thing. And I really, really, really like the dark prismarine. We don't have a guardian farm in this world, but I really like the prismarine. And this is what kind of leads us into where I said I've been thinking about Kingdoms, and I'm going to do something that some of you might not like, but most of you I think will like. In the old world, in the area from season 1 of Kingdoms, I know where there is an ocean monument. In fact, there's even a tunnel that goes to the ocean monument. There's just no guardian farm. It hasn't been cleared out. It hasn't been turned into a guardian farm. It's just an ocean monument at this point. I think we're going to head back there, and we're going to build ourselves a guardian farm. And the reason that some of you might not like that is because I've also kind of decided that this is a continuous world. What's the point of building stuff if I never touch it again when we end the season? So I'm going to go back to the old world, and I'm going to start using some of those resources and some of those things. Like there's a mob farm there that produces a whole bunch of bone meal and stuff like that back in Regnum. And I'm going to be using those resources. I've thought about it a lot, and you know, what's the point? Now, the good news with that is it also means that, you know, if my inspiration is back and if I'm able to use a lot of those resources and stuff like that, Kingdoms should be back on track. We should be back to regular Kingdoms videos, because although I'm sure some of you won't be happy that I'm going to start using resources from the old world regularly and not like worrying about it, I think a lot more of you will be unhappy if there's just no Kingdoms for weeks at a time. So that's the plan. But the first thing we need to do, we got to make a guardian farm. And that involves clearing out an ocean monument, gathering a ridiculous amount of sand, and, you know, clearing all the water out and all that kind of stuff, and then building a guardian farm. And that's something I've actually never done in vanilla Minecraft, or in Minecraft at all, for that matter. I haven't done it in modded either, with guardian drops. I mean, I just generally don't bother. So, yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to head back to the old world and start gathering up more resources than I want to gather so I can clear out that farm. I'll be back with you in just a minute. All right, guys, I am back, and I spent the last couple hours gathering sand, and then I ran into some sort of a crash. I was like flying around the desert with my elytra after gathering some sand, and the world crashed. Got like a ticking world exception or something like that. And I could not fix it no matter what I tried. I tried logging in and logging out. I tried closing Minecraft. I even tried like loading it up in MC Edit. And no matter what I did, the moment that I would log into the world, it would crash on me. So I had to restore to a backup. And because I'm a terrible Minecraft player and YouTuber, I actually didn't have a backup. I think my most recent backup was in like November. With the exception of the creative world copy that we were in just a minute ago, because I copied that like last night. So I'm actually in that world. Although what I did is I went over there and I got rid of all the wool and all that kind of stuff. It might be a little bit different from the natural seed, from spots where like I put a wool block, you know, right here, and then stuff like that. But it's basically the same. I got rid of all the wool. And then on top of that, I did have to basically cheat all my stuff back in, all my gear, because when I play in creative mode, I don't need these. I just delete them all, shift delete, get rid of the entire inventory. And this copy of the world was meant to be just creative only for planning projects and stuff. Luckily, the good thing about being a YouTuber and being someone who records almost all of your gameplay, well, I shouldn't say almost all, but records your gameplay regularly, is that I'm able to look back at those old videos and see, oh, on this I'm supposed to have these enchantments and stuff like that. So that did make it a lot easier. I think I have the same enchantments and everything. I know that this didn't have mending and this didn't have, I'm like 99% sure that our gear is where it was before I lost that copy of the world forever. But if you notice any minor differences or anything like that, that's probably what it is. So, anyway, talk about like 4 hours down the tube. The lesson is, if you're going to be playing in experimental snapshots, make backups regularly. Self, you know better than this. Shame on you. Anyway, I'm going to go spend hours gathering sand again. I'll be back. All right, guys, I have been mining or digging or harvesting sand for quite a while now. This was all sand, and this was actually like a sand mountain that kind of came up to about here or so. But it's all been harvested out, and we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 full shulker boxes of just nothing but sand. Hopefully that will be enough for our project here. So I'm going to head back. Where? I think it's this way. Aha! That's the thing. Cactus farm over here. Squid farm over here. Entrance to the Nether. So we want to swing back in here real quick. And we're going to head to the Guardian farm. Now, this is something I have never done before, clearing out a Guardian farm. But from all accounts, it takes a little bit. It's a little grindy. So we'll see. I'll give it a go. We'll give it a try. The tunnel should pretty much just be like right at the very end of this tunnel. I think it actually just lines up like exactly, if I remember correctly. Yeah, you can see it over there. This prismarine, this actually came from just mining the Guardian Temple, not from any sort of a Guardian farm, because I wanted a little bit of it for something at some point. I don't, or maybe it was the lanterns that I wanted. I think it was the sea lanterns. But anyway, so yeah, we'll head over here to our super awesome ocean monument, which I have not really done anything with. I did already kill the Elder Guardians back in Season 1 when I initially found it. And then if you go way down this tunnel, that'll actually take you all the way back to like Bullstone and all that kind of stuff. But you can see it right here. This is the spot. And we're going to want to clear that out. I think what I should probably do first is clear out the... Actually, let's throw a bed down right here real quick. I should probably clear out the Guardian farm itself first, like the Guardian, the ocean monument. I keep calling it a Guardian farm. It's going to be a Guardian farm. It's not a Guardian farm yet. Good job, Self. Actually, and you know what? For this, I think we want our actual chest plate, not our elytra, because our elytra isn't going to do us a whole lot of good underwater anyway. But I think what I should probably do is clear out the interior of it first with sponges and stuff. And then once that's done... Oh, this is actually going to be a little harder than I thought. I've stripped chunks of this away. Yeah, this is going to be kind of bad. Can we make this work? Like if I come in here and I throw down a sponge... Hi. Yeah, I see you too. Don't worry. I know you're there. It's super dark, but we can probably just go throw down a torch. I think this will work. I mean, the problem is that a lot of this is not really able to be moved. Like, I think I did myself a disservice by clearing out large quantities of this. Also, could we like not die while we're doing this? That would be really unfortunate. I really don't want to die while I'm in the process of clearing this thing out. But anyway, I think this is what I'm going to be doing for the next couple hours or so. I'm going to get this inside all kind of taken care of. And once we've got that done, then I'll go ahead and we'll start doing the giant sandbox. All right, guys, I am back. I've been grinding away at this for a couple hours now. And I kind of decided, I got partway through clearing out the Guardian Temple itself of water, or the Ocean Monument, or whatever you want to call it. And I've decided I'm just going to clear the outside first, because the thing is, since I've torn this thing up so much, there's so many holes in it and stuff like that, that it's just not really going to be super doable to clear it all from the inside first. So I've laid out a couple of these walls. I think I grossly underestimated the amount of sand I was going to need. Each one of these walls is like a full shulker box of sand. This is going to take a while, but that's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3 sections at a time. And then I'll be, I'll clear this one out, and then I'll clear this one out, and then I'll get rid of this sand wall and move it forward, and I'll kind of like leapfrog until the whole outer part is all cleared. That's like my plan. So I think this will clear 5 blocks. So if we go, let's see, here, and we do that. Yeah, that'll kind of work. We may want to just do 3 in between, though. Yeah, probably 3 in between. And we'll just go like so. Probably just put these in the offhand. That's probably a little bit easier. Like that. Oop. Probably would help if I did the thing properly. But we'll just clear each one of these things out all the way down. And I'll basically be going like this until we get to like here. Oh, that's right. It actually has to touch water. There we go. So we do something like that. And then we'll have to come down, grab our sponges. Guardians are going to make this really annoying. And I think another thing I'm probably going to have to do before this project is completed is head back to Regnum and hit up the storage room so I can do some villager trading. Because my armor is, some of it's like almost broken. Not all of it, but a good chunk of it is actually already almost broken. And, well, not like broken, but some of it doesn't have mending on it. And it's just going to be like a headache. So, yeah, I'm probably going to have to do some villager trading to get 2 more bending books so I can make sure that my helmet and my leggings stay properly repaired or whatever. All right, guys, I am back. Quick progress update. I have the first few sections cleared out. This is, I think, 2 or 3 sections. And I've got the next 3 ready. Here, I ended up going with double sand because it splits right down the middle, and that way we'll have sections of 5 until we hit the end. But yeah, this is taking some time. I think I'm now 9 hours into this video, something like that. But this is a project that really does need to get done. Oh boy. Well, I kind of saved it. Thank you, Feather Falling. I did end up doing the villager trading and got mending on my stuff. I just got back from the Ender and repaired everything. So that's good. We now have mending on all of our gear. My helmet was getting pretty bad. But I am approximately 1/3 of the way done with clearing this thing out. Let me get back to it. All right, guys. After many hours, I can confidently say that I am never, ever, ever doing this again. But the good news is I never will have to do this again because this is the single-player world and the only single-player world. So there you go. But it's finally all cleared out, at least this part of it. I still need to do... I just realized I'm not wearing my elytra. That's okay. I still need to do some of the stuff within the ocean monument itself. There's still little bits of water in here. But let's kind of pop into this. Yeah, you can see there's still some spots where we still got to do some stuff. Let's grab a little bit of cobble. Just a stack of that. Whoa. Oh, yeah. Guardians are still a thing. I've got some sponges. I got 7 furnaces. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I'm just going to toss these in here for the sponges once we, use them all up. But some of these we can just, like this one, right, for example. We can just fill that up with a cobblestone. Some of these, on the other hand, are going to require actual sponges to get rid of the water. So I need to go through here and kind of get rid of some of this stuff. It is going to take me some time, but it shouldn't be too bad. The worst part is going to be some of the guardians that spawn. Let's actually put those in our offhand. There we go. And then I suppose while I'm at it, I should probably light this stuff up as well, although I don't believe that any mobs can spawn inside the bounding box of a guardian, of an ocean monument, except for guardians. So I don't know if I actually do need to light this stuff up, but just for the sake of being able to see, I probably should do it anyway. So that's the plan. I'm going to run around and get rid of all of the water inside the Guardian farm now. Going to take me a little bit, but I'll be back with you in just a minute. All right, guys, I am back. I've got some chests set up right here. Most of these are empty, but the ocean monument is completely cleared of water. There is no, well, I may have missed like a water pocket somewhere that was hiding really well, but I think for the most part, there is no water anywhere within these outer sand walls whatsoever. So, very excited about that. We've got it all cleared out. Even the water underneath. This is technically outside of the range of the ocean monument. But I have some plans for this whole thing. So, we're going to be... I lit this up. I got rid of the water. And yeah, it's good. Now, the next step is I need to get rid of the ocean monument. That's also going to be a thing. I did set up a beacon. Thankfully, with a beacon, you can insta-mine this stuff. So I think this is a great opportunity for a bit of a time lapse. All right, guys, I am back. I hope you enjoyed that time lapse. Time lapse? Yes, those lips of time. They're timeless. No, the time lapse. I hope you enjoyed the time lapse. Wow. It's actually the next day. It was about 4 in the morning when I finished that. roughly 15 or 16 hours into this project, or now maybe more than that if you take all the planning and all that kind of stuff into account. But what I'm doing now is I'm just out and about caving a little bit, doing some mining. I need some resources for the next step of this project. This is probably going to be a fairly long video because I actually intend to not only clear out that ocean monument, but actually build the entire Guardian farm in today's episode. So, yeah, but I'm gonna need a fair amount of iron for all the hoppers, and I actually need a lot of redstone as well. Not for technical redstone stuff, but as a building block, believe it or not, because redstone has some special properties, which we'll talk about once we get to that point. So I'm just kind of out and about mining right now, doing some of the grind. I've got, I think I need like 13 stacks of redstone blocks or something like that. Let's see, redstone dust. Thankfully, I do actually have some redstone just lying around the world because it's, you know, a relatively old world. So I already have, I already had a fair amount of redstone, but at the same time, yeah, still have a lot of grinding to do. I'm going to go ahead and keep at it, and I'll come back to you once I have all the resources I need. All right, guys, I'm back from my very long mining session, and after raiding my stockpiles here at my main storage facility from Season 1, and doing a whole bunch of mining, I have 10 stacks of redstone blocks, which actually still isn't enough, but it's pretty close, and I still have to light up the caves near where the Guardian farm's gonna be, so I figure I'll probably find some more redstone when I'm doing that as well. So I think we'll be okay. If I need to go and mine some more, then so be it. I also got an empty shulker box that can just go back in here. I got some random junk. I got a ton of iron ore. Some of this did come from here, but I think it was like 2 stacks that I had stored away that I hadn't smelted yet. Found a couple diamonds, found some emeralds, found a bunch of coal, all that kind of good stuff. I have to admit, it didn't actually take me quite as long as I thought it was going to. It still took me like hours, but I'm kind of notoriously bad for skipping redstone when I go mining. So I went up and down a whole bunch of my branch mine tunnels and like my beacon mine and stuff like that. There's just tons of exposed redstone just sitting there that I had already found that I just never mined because I often skip it. So it wasn't quite as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it did take quite a while to get all that redstone, and we will need more than what I have right now, but that's okay. So I'm going to smelt up all this iron so we have enough for the hoppers and stuff. I'm going to grab some supplies, and then I'm going to head over to the Guardian farm and light up all the caves. And for those of you who are curious, when I light up caves, I use a camera account because it's almost impossible to uncover all the caves to find them without one. So I will be using a camera account for that. And then, you know, I'll still be like placing the torches and everything in survival and still digging my way, but I'm going to use a camera account to find all those little nooks and crannies to make sure they're all lit up. Because if you have like one bad pocket of caves that isn't lit up, you know, one hole that there's no connecting tunnels to it or anything like that, it could just absolutely kill the efficiency of your farm. So I don't mind doing that. Some people might look at that as cheating. That's how I like to play. I do the same thing on Hermitcraft as well. I use a camera account to find those caves when I'm making a farm or something like this. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get back to smelting this stuff, get some preparations done, and then I'll be with you. All right, guys, I am back, and I have finished lighting up pretty much all of the caves. I'm sure I've missed a couple spots here and there, but for the most part, everything is lit up within the range that we need, which is 128 blocks from where we're going to be AFK. So yeah, that's a good thing. Now, this turns out that the chunk that the very center of this ocean monument is, turns out that that's actually a slime chunk. This whole chunk is a slime chunk, which is unfortunate, but whatever. So I slabbed this area. Again, I'm sure there's going to be areas down below that we probably should have slabbed, but I don't really care that much. It's not going to hurt the efficiency of the farm too much since everything is lit up. The only thing that would be spawning would be slimes. So the next step is to actually start working on the farm itself. I do have enough redstone, I think. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to grab some prismarine blocks. And we need to find the center of the farm, which I have marked out right here. And we're just going to start kind of putting down some blocks. So from the center, imagine this 4x4 as like the center of the farm, right? We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And on the 9th block, we're going to put down a thing like so. Okay. And then we're going to go, let's see, this is a 4 as well. So from here, because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, leading up to this, we're going to go up until we hit Y level 55. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, we are now standing at the proper Y level. So then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, this was 4, but this is fine. We'll go 6. And I'm going to make like a little thing like so, just to mark out that this is a section of 4. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And another little thing. And then over here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And a little thing. Okay. And then I'm basically going to copy this over to the other side. And that's how we're going to find our area that we're going to be building. I don't remember the dimensions off the top of my head. I planned this out in creative mode. Did get a little bit of help from Nembon. I should probably thank him. Every time I do something technical, he always sends me a message and tells me all the things that I could improve on. So props to him. Thank you. I appreciate it. But anyway, so here's our 4. We need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the same thing, right? Because we're lined up with this. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then on the 9th block, we turn it, right? So here, if we're starting here, we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then turn. And then basically we just need to mirror it. So let me get kind of the basic framework of this thing built, and I'll be back. All right, I've got this laid out. So essentially what we have here is 3 tanks, and they're all going to feed in towards the middle, and we're going to have like a pit that goes down the middle. It's going to be 4 wide, but it's going to go down the middle, and it's going to kind of cross perpendicular to these 3 tanks. Now, Guardians need to fall 34 blocks at least to die instantly of fall damage. And this level that we just put down, these blocks, that's where the gates or the signs would go that they're going to fall through. So it just so happens, I bumped my microphone, sorry about that. It just so happens that from right here to right here is 10 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I'm sorry. That's incorrect. It's not. This is where the gates are going to be from the spawning pools. Then they'll fall 3 blocks, land on another water stream, and this is where they will start falling. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We are currently at Y level 40. So to make that a total of 34 blocks, I'd have to dig down to approximately Y level 16, because I would need to dig another 24. Just to be on the safe side, I'm going to dig it down to Y level 12, I think. So what I need to do now is basically just dig a really big hole. All right, guys, I have got the hole dug, and I've also started to dig out some of the redstone. So here's what we have down here. Basically, this is going to be our collection area. This is where all the guardians are going to fall and die, right? So what we want to have here is hopper chains, and we're going to run them like this, and they're just going to go every other one, like so. And then when we're all done, we'll put carpets on top of these ones that are sticking out here. But that way the items are all going to be pretty evenly split between different lines of hoppers, because one hopper can only support so many items per hour. I think it's like 9,000 items per hour or something like that. And I honestly have no idea just how many items this farm is going to output, but we'll do it this way because it's not super hard to do. And yes, before anyone tells me, I'm like 99% sure that this is not going to be the most efficient farm or the collection or whatever. Technical Minecraft is not my strong point, but, you know, I enjoy doing it from time to time. I find it fun. So, you know, here we are. But anyway, so we'll get our hopper chains going like so. Okay. And they're each going to feed in to a pair of droppers over here. I've already done this redstone. And the way that this works, the hopper feeds into this dropper, which is facing downwards, and they're all the same. This is basically just the same thing tiled several times. Can I break that? I cannot. Can I bust my way up here? Yeah, there we go. So basically, this looks complicated, but it's not. It's really just this little 2x5 pattern repeated and tiled over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, so the items are going to feed into the dropper. The dropper will then emit a redstone signal if there is stuff in it, thanks to this comparator, which will then send a signal back and fire the dropper. So, for example, I have 7 stone. If I toss that in here, it's going to spit the stone out down below. Now, the downside to tiling it this way is that the redstone connects. So when this dropper fires, this one's going to as well. When this one fires, these ones are all... It's going to fire multiple droppers at once, is basically what I'm trying to say. Like, if we throw these in here, you can see that one's firing, this one's firing, and all 3 of these are firing right now. So it's not like the greatest design in the world, but it really shouldn't make that big of a difference, because realistically, when this farm is up and running properly, all these droppers are basically going to be firing fairly regularly anyway. So it should be fine, and it's a single-player world, so I don't really need to worry about, like, creating lag for my friends, and this is only going to be active when I'm AFKing here, so it shouldn't really be a big deal. Not to mention, this isn't in the spawn chunks, so this whole area will only be loaded when I'm AFK, when I'm actually here AFKing. So not the greatest solution for the redstone, but it does work, and that's really what I'm concerned with. So anyway, once the items get pushed down here, we need to make a water stream, because I want to send them all along this water stream so they can be easily sorted into their respective drops. And also, let's just get rid of that. And we can probably do the same on the other side as well, right? Yeah. So I want to sort stuff into their respective drops. So we'll have to make like a little bit of an item sorting system. We might do 2 of them, one on either end, and the items will just continuously go around in a circle until they all get picked up. I think that might work. Now, what I'm planning on doing is having basically 4 hoppers on each end, right? And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. And those hoppers will each feed into a sorting system. The prismarine shards we're going to keep. And we'll have 2 hoppers for prismarine shards because it's the most common drop. You'll get more of those than anything else. I do want to keep the... You know what? I actually need to go up and look at a thing because I don't remember the names. How terrible is that? Still not what I need. Please, game. I know I've got some stashed here somewhere. Yeah, here we go. So these prismarine shards are the most common one. We'll have 2 hoppers on each side for that. The prismarine crystals, that's the one I was forgetting. Those are less common, but we still want them because we need them to make the sea lanterns. So those we will have 1 hopper on each side. And then the last drop is raw fish. I don't really care about raw fish, so I think we're just gonna void it and like send it into a cactus or something. I think I've actually got a couple. Yeah, I've got a couple cactuses here. So those ones will just send into a, we'll just divert into a water stream that goes into a cactus, and if they get destroyed, then so be it. And and actually, you know what we could do is have 2 separate water streams. And then anything that doesn't get picked up gets voided by being tossed into the cactus. That would also be essentially an overflow protection system, so that if something does get voided, like, it's not the end of the world. I seem to have misplaced my bed. Ah, there it is. I kind of like that idea better, because then each side will have 2 hoppers. We'll have a total of 4 hoppers that can pick up prismarine shards. That's like 36,000 drops per hour for the prismarine shards, and I don't think this farm is going to output that much because, well, first of all, it's me building it, and it's not meant to be like a super farm, this isn't meant to be like a Psycraft 100,000 drops per hour, the biggest, bestest guardian farm. It's not meant to be that. This is really meant for my single player world and for my personal use only. So I think if we did that, we'd probably be okay. And then we could just void anything that's left over. I like it. Let me go ahead and get the item sorting systems all sorted out. See what I did there? That was a pun. Sorting system, sorted out. Yeah, anyway, I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back, and it's done. The whole item sorting, item collection, all that kind of stuff is done. It looks really bad at the moment, but the actual collection area is going to be right here. We'll decorate it eventually. I want to use dark prismarine, though, in the design, and we don't have any dark prismarine at the moment, and we really, well, I think we might have like 10 dark prismarine blocks or something like that, but we don't have enough of it at the moment to really do anything. So we'll decorate this once we get this thing up and running. But anyway, so this is all finished. It does work. I suppose we can go down and take a look at it. Basically, if we swing down here and we just break out maybe you and you. Oh, there goes one. I actually need that. Good job, self. Tell you what, we'll sneak it from over here instead. Yeah, there we go. So basically, there we go. Stuff is gonna fall down somewhere into this chain of water. The chain of water just wraps all the way around, okay? It gets sent to over here, which it's gonna be really hard to show you without breaking it. Tell you what, let's do this, just so I can actually show you how this works without having to break literally everything. Okay, so, chain of water wraps all the way around, right? If it makes it all the way around, at any point, it's gonna wrap around until it hits this side. Then it's gonna go through over here, and it'll kind of hang around, and we've got, or it'll like hang a right, and then here we have 4 hoppers, which each go into an item elevator, and at the end of this, there's cactus. So anything that doesn't end up in one of these hoppers is getting essentially voided, okay? These 4 item elevators go all the way up here, and this is where they pop out and go to another water stream right here, which then takes them over here to this soul sand where they get sorted, and if they make it past this, they're supposed to end up in cactus. I'm not sure why this did not get voided. Like, it's just in the water stream? Oh, you know what? I bet it is. I bet it's because the soul sand is technically lower than the packed ice. Okay, that makes sense. Well, I can fix that easily enough later. There we go. So, there's that. Now, we need to get this actual farm up and running, and I think what we should do... Let's actually see if we can fix that that packed ice thing real quick. now that I'm kind of thinking about it a little bit. I only brought exactly enough soul sand for me to use. How can we do this? I suppose we could do this. Let's go and grab a sign, like a so. And we'll make one sign. Okay. And then we still want stuff that doesn't make it through this whole little system to get voided. So what we'll do instead, we'll grab that. We're going to break this right here, and I'm going to put a sign right there. Okay. So the water will hang out over top of this, and then we can go ahead, break these off, and have it, any items fall onto, well, I can't put a cactus here, can I? What we could do, though, I suppose, is have another water stream that kind of, like, comes off over this way. We could do that. And then have it go into a cactus. And this is all ultimately going to get covered up, so I think that's fine. Where's the rest of my packed ice? There we go. Grab a little bit of that, put that here, put one of those right there, so we can put a piece of sand on it. And I may actually need a little bit more of this. Yeah, there we go. And we'll kind of swing up like so. Grab that slab. Oh, I fell. Try again. There we go. Okay, so cactus goes here. We'll kind of do something like this, right? Put a... I may want to even back the cactus up. Just out of curiosity, if I toss this granite, yeah, it needs to be pushed. So let's change this just a tiny bit. Let's put it here instead. There we go. Break you. Put. Oh, if I'm gonna put sand down, it would probably be pretty helpful for me to. Oh, self, you've been working on this for far too long. You're starting to slowly go insane. Okay, try again. So, block, sand, cactus, packed ice. There we go. That's a little better. And then we'll go here and here, throw down a slab. Ooh, that's not gonna work, is it? Okay, well, I guess we gotta move it one more time. Oh, boy. It's fine. Not a big deal. Totally okay. So we're gonna have a slab there, packed ice here, and then that's finally where the sand will go. So we can properly, like, void overflow items. I think we finally got it. Break that, go, boop, boop. This one goes here. For now, I'm just gonna put that there because I don't care that much. We'll put this here. And then we need a bucket of water there. So if something gets tossed, well, we'll be able to test this more in depth in just a minute. Here's what we'll do. Okay, oh, wait. Let's leave that like so. And that should be fine. And now we get to test it. We shouldn't have anything in these chests, maybe a cobblestone or two, because right now some of the filters are set with cobble. I actually don't have enough items to set all the filters. But when I get rid of all these, and I did obviously remove the beacon, as you can see as well. But when I remove these, a whole bunch of these should fall down into the system. So let's clear out this hole. And just see here. we should see items going into here. Yeah, look at that. It's totally working. It's totally working. Beautiful. So extra voided items are ending up in here, which is exactly what we want. Good. Now, I do think one danger of using water streams is that I think it might actually technically be possible for guardians to spawn in my water streams, since it is within the limits of the guardian farm. Also, I make a mistake when I was digging this out. I went one farther than I needed to on each end. In the grand scheme of things, a pretty minor issue, but I could have saved myself a little bit of time and a little bit of resources. At this point, though, I'm just not going to bother changing it because it's really not a big deal, and I've already done the stuff, so it's going to stay that way. That's what I've decided. Okay, so let's test. I'm going to toss 9 prismarine crystals down there. And what we should have is we should end up with 9 prismarine crystals in this middle column of chests. I know it looks really bad right now. Just bear with me. It's okay. Just hold your horses. Also, this is going to be like an hour-long episode of Kingdoms, just in case you guys haven't figured that out already. Yeah, there we go. So there's 4. 6. There we go. All 9. So the whole thing is working as intended. Good, good, good. So now I need to build the actual Guardian farm itself. This should be fun. Let me get to it, and we might as well finish it off with a time lapse. right, guys, I am back, and it's done, and it's working, and I'm so happy that I never have to do this ever again. It looks terrible. The redstone blocks especially. But redstone blocks have some special properties. Basically, when guardians touch redstone blocks in water, they fall faster. So that's why the redstone blocks are there. It's an efficiency thing. My plan is once we get enough dark prismarine, and this farm has been running for all of maybe 5 minutes, and it's already, and I'm not even up at the AFK spot right now. So this thing is producing quite a lot of prismarine. I do need to redo the filters and make these, I need to get those set up properly. Also, I didn't even think of it before, but we may actually want to get ink sacks added to this list of chests. I may want to make like another row of chests or something for ink sacks. Just because there's going to be squid spawning in there that are going to die as well, mostly from the guardians killing them. So we're wasting a lot of ink sacks, and that's actually something you need for dark prismarine. It's like 8 ink sacks and 1 squid ink, or it's 8 prismarine shards and 1 squid ink for a single dark prismarine block, which I think is just absurd. Like, that's just 8 shards for 1 block. Are you kidding? Anyway. So we may want to set this up for ink sacks as well, just to, I already have a pretty good squid farm in this world, but, would be nice to have that as well. But guys, I am at well over 30 hours into this one episode, between the planning and the resource gathering and the digging and the grinding and the filling of the sand and the building of the thing and doing the redstone and all the other things. So I am very much out for this episode, and it's been a long one as well. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're glad to see Kingdoms back on the channel. This is the start of, this is just the beginning, because I showed you at the beginning of the episode why we're doing this now, and I hope you're as excited as I am. I got my mojo back, and I'm happy. I got my inspiration back. It's flowing. I'm excited, and it's been a little while for vanilla. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. Links in the description below, so check that out as well. Once again, special thanks to Nembon MC, who helped me out with some of this technical stuff. I decided, he told me to use a 3-wide lava blade, but I couldn't get it to work reliably, so I just went with the drop farm. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.